Hi, everyone. It's 10:03 Eastern Standard Time. So it's Tuesday, and Tuesday is now going to be all about the tangent and the tarot. But this week is our week of our full moon. Hi, Abby. Hi, Pearl. So I'm live both on Instagram and YouTube. As you guys come in and gather and are here, just say hi, throw a little emoji up. We'll have a little bit of gathering time before we get really started. We'll have a full hour together this morning, and we're going to cover a lot in that hour as we usually do. So again, this is the week of our full moon. So we're going to go over what is the basics of a full moon, right? What does this lunation mean in our life? Mother Nature's best, life coach, basically, and planner. Then we're going to talk about where this moon sits and kind of how that translates and how that works. Hi, you guys. Yay! And then we're going to go through Unicorn Bingo lightning fast, okay? And then we'll do the single card tarot pulls for anyone who is in attendance, okay? So that'll be at the end of the hour. Single card tarot pulls, here's the goal, is to, when it's time, when it's time to do the single card tarot pulls, it'll be a first come, first serve, those who type first and fastest. Please phrase the question in a way that can be answered yes or no. I'll pull a single card. We'll get a yes or a no from that. Sometimes it's a maybe because, guides and guardians are funny that way and they have a sense of humor too. And then any information that's channeled through with and along with that, then I'll share with you. So we usually have about time for 10, and I do try to get to people who either haven't had one before or, to get as many as possible. So housekeeping first. Make sure to say hi, and there we go. Okay, I have a couple of things. So one, if you're here in the Brooklyn area, if you're in New York area, Jersey, the full moon ritual, the live one in person with me, 2 hours is this Saturday from 4 to 6. So if you are in or around or coming to town, book your space on the mat now. I think there's like 3 spots left. So they're there, just go snatch them up. The ritual, the first one we did live was last month. It was like such a great success. And it's exciting to see who can come each month and the energy that it builds and the excitement is. So the live full moon ritual is basically a mini retreat with me. We'll do a 30-minute workout on the mat in attune to this current lunar cycle and this current full moon. Then we'll make our altar with the flowers and the crystals. We'll talk about the representation of these things and the symbolism of them. Then do the lunar education on this full moon and how some of what we do here in these 2 lives. Then we'll have a guided meditation. Then everyone who's in attendance gets a single card tarot pull, also similar, right? There's only room for 12 in these rituals because it is a real boutique thing and we really pack quite a bit into it. And then at the end of the full moon ritual now, we'll have tea time. So we'll commune together. We'll talk about what tea we chose for this particular full moon and get to chat as a community. If you are not here in Brooklyn or in New York, but you have friends, or if you're like, I don't know if I got friends there, please post it. The sharing of it is really helpful, and I very, very much appreciate that. So to get your ticket to reserve your spot for the full moon ritual here in Brooklyn this Saturday, it's tandygutierrez.com. You'll just click on events, you'll see where it is, and you choose your seat there. It takes you to the calendar because it acts like a class because there's only 12 spots in the mix. Okay, so that's the basic housekeeping. Second set of housekeeping things is that this Tuesday, I said it before and like nobody answered me, so I just left it. What do you guys think about moving Tuesdays to 11 a.m. Eastern Standard Time also? So our Monday tarot, we do really well with our community being able to join us at that time. And it's a little easier on my life as a mama to have that buffer time. So opinions about pushing back Tuesdays an hour so that Monday and Tuesday are at the same time. And maybe it makes no difference to you all whatsoever. And then plus it stays on YouTube so you can watch it afterwards. But I do want to know what you think about that. Okay. So yeah, just throw it out there because I did put it out there before, and our members in our community, literally, like the members of UnicornWellness.Studio, are literally all over the world. I always say it's like took two handfuls of glitter and went, and so getting the time that really works for the majority of us is challenging. Hence why we're doing YouTube this year, so that they're recorded and you all can go back and watch them. And most of our community does that, but I'd like to give it the best opportunity for everybody to show up together live, because I like that connection with you all. Okay, so I'm hearing a yes about this. I'm seeing. Okay, well, I'll announce it. I think I am going to push it back to 11 because it just gets a little time crunchy, and then I feel a little scattered to come and present for you all at 10, just because of, honestly, kid drop off. So maybe in the summer it changes. I don't know. But also Monday we tend to have a larger attendance. So that's all. And it's not completely contingent on that, but I want those who want to be here to be here. Okay. What is the crying for? Paula's crying. Don't cry. Why are you crying? Okay, here we go. Full moon basics. Here are the basics, right? Full moons happen every month. And they are the time when the moon, this is my favorite demonstration to do, and the sun are in direct opposition to each other. Okay, so I'm reading comments at the same time. Okay, well, I'll decide what to do about Tuesday. We just got to figure it out, because it's just, I think, honestly, I may just need to back it up because of my schedule. I feel like I'm like running guns blazing, and I don't like to be in that frantic space for you all. All right, so full moon. Sun and moon in direct opposition, which means we get the most amplified reflection of the sun off of the moon. That's what it is. That's why it looks full. That's why it's in full light and illumination. There are so many beautiful connotations to this, okay? One, we're in perfect balance of masculine and feminine energy, lunar and solar energetic qualities. This also puts us in direct conflict, right? So direct opposition. So this could create perfect balance, or this could create a lot of tension. So full moons, when you follow other people's threads and when you're learning, like to cycle in the lunar cycles, it gets really minimized and nutshelled into it's time to release, time to let go. Okay. I find this interesting and a little confusing that that's what it's been boiled down to, is that the full moon is just about release and let go. It's always about two things, right? There's two major luminaries, well, one luminary and one reflectant involved here, okay? So in a full moon, it's shining all of this light. It's like, the cosmos go here, like a spotlight. If you've ever worked a spotlight in theater, or if you've been on the receiving end of it, it's hot and you can't see. So it's this like direct energy and illumination of something in your life. The universe is throwing major energy and highlight and focus on something. I promise you, it will either feel like a disaster of like, oh my God, this is just blowing up, or it's going to feel like this is so good. Okay. Because full moons are about full culmination, right? This is when we get the full spectrum of the moon, of Mama Moon. So what have you brought to fruition? What have you completed? What have you launched? What have you made? Hi, Tracy. So, look at what have you completed and what have you made? And I mean finished, completed, brought to fruition. Okay. So that's number one. Two, then look at where, Mama Nature's throwing a flashlight on you, because it's looking for the dirt, so to speak, right? It's like the big illuminary of like, where's either the mess or where's the beautiful thing happening right now, and take attention to that. Okay. So then full moons are kind of a 3-step process, right? Where's the energy going? What have you completed? If you haven't completed anything, haven't brought anything to full fruition yet, then it's time to stop and go, what do I need to release that no longer serves my highest and greatest good in respect to this goal why am I not getting to this goal? What's holding me back? So here's where the release part goes. Like, we can just make it a little teeny tiny thing for, this, like, oh, I just need to release something that's not serving my highest and greatest good. And you can start there when you're working with the lunar cycles. But the point of doing the full moon ritual is to go deeper into it and to go, okay, now we're looking at manifestation. Now we're looking at healing. Now we're looking at what are we bringing into our lives. So in the moon, little recap, where's energy being thrown? Is it in chaos? Or is it in, celebration and completion? What have you brought to completion? What have you made? If you haven't finished anything, brought anything to completion, launched anything, nothing like that's going on, then start to look at the release. What do you need to release in order to get to the goal, in order to bring something into completion, in order to manifest, okay? If you have brought something to completion and manifested something, it's the same thing. What no longer serves your highest and greatest good? What do you need to let go of? What potentially helped you get to this spot, of completion, of culmination, of launching, but is no longer going to serve your highest and greatest good for the next step. Okay. So yes, full moons are about release, but they're about so much more. Because if you think about it, they're just like burgeoning full, right? I actually feel like full moons are a bit like a pregnant mama. It's like, oh my God, when is that baby coming? And so these culmination points tend to happen around that full moon. And then, the releasing of it, like as in birth, would be after, as things start to go quieter, right? So follow me on that. But the full moon, this is the time, this is again to go, what have I brought to completion? If yes, I brought something to completion, what do I need to release that no longer serves my highest and greatest good? It may have helped me get to this spot, but it's not going to help me get to the next spot. Okay. If I haven't brought anything to completion, or I haven't finished anything, why not? And then typically go and look at what is hindering me from bringing it closer to completion or to full launch. Okay. So that's your basics of the full moon. All right. And for all of you who are asking about the tarot card readings, and if you of the Unicorn community members too can help in the comment thread, that would be awesome. We're going to do the live tarot readings at the end of the hour, as we usually do. We go over the full moon basics. Next, we're going to talk about this particular full moon, where it sits and its aspects and personalities and what it influences. Then we're going to go through Unicorn Bingo, so where this full moon sits in your astrological natal chart. Then we're going to do the readings at the end. So when we get to the end portion, then you guys will type in. So you don't have to be added to a list. We'll do it first come, first serve at that point. Okay, cool. And I'll go between Instagram and YouTube for the questionings. All right. Okay, so this full moon in the Northern Hemisphere, it sits it'll happen on Saturday, and it sits in Scorpio. Okay. Scorpio is one of my favorite signs in the zodiac, but I also feel like it is it gets a bad rap. It gets a super bad rap, and it gets kind of the raw end of the deal. I'm kind of looking through. Oh, you guys are going to handle that. Okay, good. Scorpio. So basic attributes of Scorpio. What does Scorpio teach us? What is it like? I always use this explanation. Okay. Scorpio is like having your raw heart inside of a beautiful little box, inside another box, inside of a jewelry box, inside of a steamer trunk, inside of a car trunk. That car is inside of a ship sunk at the bottom of the ocean with a mountain on top of it. Okay. So Scorpio is hyper protective of its feelings and of its true depth. All right. Scorpio is such a deep feeler and understand. And you go, I know Scorpios who can't feel anything, I think. It's a facade. Okay. Scorpios have to learn trust, one of themselves, and that allows them to trust other people. Otherwise, the imbalance of Scorpio is they get highly walled off, super blocked off, can't hear truth even to themselves, right? They get super snotty and really bitchy and very gossipy and totally about retribution and revenge, okay? So every sign has a balance and an imbalance, right? Scorpio is the witch of the zodiac chart. It loves to talk about the occult. It loves to delve into the dark side. It likes all the naughty, not good dining table conversation. Okay. So, sex, magic, death, like these are the things that Scorpio wants to talk about. Rightly so, because the depth of the heart and feeling and the empathy and the understanding of what the dark and the depth does for us as humanity and as a soul is so powerful for healing. Okay. So I also always try to explain that, we'll say that light workers, right, they work for healing, but then they only stand in the light, right? Witches actually are capable of working on both sides and understand the yin and yang and the balance. Healing always comes from the dark, the willingness to dive into the depths, to pick off the scab, to really poke at the wound in order to better understand, in order to feel, to grieve, and to fully mourn, and not to just be in pain. This serves a purpose of pulling it out from under the ocean, opening all of the boxes and putting the heart back in the body. Okay. So Scorpio has this unbelievable capacity for healing, understanding light and dark, suffering and celebration. Okay. Yeah, so Scorpio is just like, everybody's got Scorpio in their chart, where it sits and how much you got sitting in that quadrant in that house depends on where your comfort levels live with it, which is what we'll go over in Unicorn Bingo, kind of what this full moon may offer us and where to look for the blessings and the lessons. Okay. So again, Scorpio, I think, gets a totally bad rap because if you know a nasty Scorpio, an unhealed Scorpio, I'll just put it that way, they are super unpleasant and like kind of impossible to deal with, because if they're not connected to their own feelings and if they don't trust themselves and they cannot trust you, then there's no conversation, there's no communication or evolvement to be had with a Scorpio. I say this, I was married to one. And I have close family members who are deep sweet. They just you just can't go there sometimes. So it does need to be on their terms or in Scorpio energetic terms. This full moon sits in Scorpio. Okay. So Scorpio is a water sign, right? So this is automatically going to tell us we are going to be dealing with our feelings and our emotions in this full moon. And in my book, feelings and emotions are one of the most powerful thing, because this is really what can program our subconscious system, which is what allows us to manifest and how we connect in the world, right? So anytime we get into the water signs, this little witchy mama and water moon, I love it. Because it's not easy. I mean, it's not easy. I can't tell you how many messages I've already gotten yesterday. It's like, what is this week already? And I feel the same way. But water is transformative. It is cleansing. It is the depth of our emotion and our potential. It is the connection to divine spirit and psychic capacity, and ultimately a connection to flow and healing and love. So if you want to boil down the symbolism of water, it's love. So Scorpio can be prickly to love, right? So it's okay. It has to learn. It has to be petted. It has to be protected. And that heart has got to make it back into the physical body at some point, right? So this full moon, right? Full moons typically, because of the amplified light and energy, give us this extra energy. It may be difficult to sleep. You may have some higher anxiety. It tends to work two ways in a physical body. Full moons will either give us this charge. That's where I'm at these days, which is awesome. Okay. Or because our physical body, our wounds aren't as healed as we'd like them to be, it exhausts us because there's being so much electricity pumped in one direction. And we're just like, oh God. Okay. So yesterday in our weekly tarot reading, if you all haven't watched it yet, you should go back and watch it, because it's going to, feed into this and give more information. That this is high time for energetic healing for your body, because there's the capacity, because it's a water sign in Scorpio, magic, the witch of the zodiac, depths of the dark for healing, dredging up in order to alchemize. This is a time for it. Okay. So there's a high time for transformation and magic right now. And if your body needs more support in that, get on the mat with me at UnicornWellness.Studio. I know it may be odd to think about your movement patterns and your workout as energetic healing, but it is. The way I teach it, the way I deliver it, it is. So get to the mat because it's like one of the most accessible ways to do it. Reiki healing would be wonderful right now if you know that you really, connect with acupuncture or massage or, whatever works for you. Even yesterday's tarot reading, right? Because we're going to bring these energies through, and more meditation. Lots of meditation, like get connected. Throw those selenite wands on you and go sit in your meditation. So this full moon is offering us transformation and healing. And it may feel like somebody's plugged you into, the motherboard of like, let's just go get it done. And it's a neat week because we've got that Virgo, Libra, Scorpio set up, because Virgo is like list making. How do we get this done? Amplified energy, then you can go get it done. Libra, balance between sensuality, pleasure, and fairness for all. Still get it done, but everybody enjoy themselves. Don't overwork. And then into Scorpio, which is like sex, sensual pleasure, magic, manifestation. So side note about this full moon, if you're into sex magic, like this is the moon. This is it. This is, Scorpio moon. Yes, please. Okay. So it's a high time for transformation. Understand that it's energetic alchemization right now, cleansing, clearing, getting through, dropping karma from past lives through healing. It can be done sometimes like in that instant, right? It's got these energetic pulls to it. I don't think that this full moon for most of us as a collective is going to be showing in physical manifestations. This is about transformation and culmination and fruition of energetic work. Yes. Okay. So let's be clear about that. This full moon is about culmination, fruition, arrival in energetic work. Frequency lifting up, releasing false paradigms, releasing stagnant energies, releasing past lives, really, really moving up in the spectrum of things. Okay. Okay. Looking at comments and questions, and you guys are handling it. You're taking care of each other. I dig it. Okay. So this lunation sits at 27 degrees of Scorpio. If you are a member of UnicornWellness.Studio or you've signed up to get my newsletter, we call it a monthly magazine because it's so chock full of stuff. The Sabian symbol, the degrees are there for you all to read, so you can go back to that. If you want the newsletter, if you want to read it when we're done here on YouTube, it'll be the link to that newsletter will be below in the comment section, okay, or in the description section. So that's always a place to refer back to for the degrees. The thing about the degrees I want you to hear for this moon is that every house of the zodiac, every piece of the pie, every sign runs from 0 to 29 degrees. So there's 30 degrees in each house of the zodiac in each sign. So Scorpio's got 30 degrees, right? This one sits at 27, okay? And so in the monthly magazine, I always say that 0 to 14 degrees in the chart says, you don't know shit about this sign, about balancing this sign. The attributes of this piece of the zodiac are probably in the like, oh my God, imbalance, and you're gonna have to work for the balance. The further you get, from 15 to 29 denotes mastery, learned, understanding. So I feel that in the zodiac, in the pie piece, 0 to 14 degrees is like the imbalance shows up really easily in your chart. So in Scorpio, that's going to be kind of gossipy, backstabby, a little bit vengeful, like kind of nasty, stinging. And you're going to have to learn your way out of that, really learn trust, suspend trust and disbelief in order to figure out what it feels like to really trust somebody and release the heart, right? In Scorpio, that 15 to 29 degrees denotes mastery. So this is understanding of magical energies. This is understanding the occult, the benefit and the wonders of magic and sex and death and release and the dark, of swimming in the dark of the depths, right? I mean, Scorpio and Pisces have their commonalities too. So if you have strong Pisces in your chart, this capacity to go to the depth and the dark of emotions will serve you well in this full moon, okay? Okay. All right, questions or comments so far, because in order to stay on time, I'm trying to be very diligent about it. We're going to move into Unicorn Bingo, okay? So it's a big full moon. It's packed full of energy. When the Unicorn Wellness Monthly magazine came out at the new moon, I said it then. It's like I could feel it then. that it was powerful, that it's magical, that it's big, and it offers us a lot. But remember, in order for us to really harness its goodies, and be able to use this energy, we have to be applying it. Who was it? I think Gregory Scott this morning was listening to his stuff on YouTube, that he was like, knowledge, is not really, what is it? I think he said knowledge is not power. Like knowing things doesn't make you more powerful, or empowered, so to speak. And I thought it's really true, because you have to have the application of knowledge. And I've been posting a lot about that on Instagram of you can be doing the work for healing and manifestation, but if you're not really applying what you're hearing or what you're seeing or understanding, we can have breakthroughs and go, there's the clarity. Great. Now what are you going to do with it? Okay. And so this full moon says, we're offering you this opportunity at healing, of up-leveling, a frequency increase, of feeling free, feeling more joy, having more love, perhaps more finances down the road, right? But you have to apply what you hear and what you see and what you learn in these processes. Okay. So, all right, I don't hear questions about this lunation or about Scorpio, so let's move on to Unicorn Bingo, okay? So Unicorn Bingo, what is it if you're new in the room? Thank you guys for joining. Okay, so Unicorn Bingo is if you have your astrological natal chart with you, or if you don't, you can just take notes or go back to the video later and pull your chart, okay? Anyone who's had a Simple Stars reading with me has their astrological natal chart to keep and use at all times. I use a whole house sign chart, okay? So there's never gonna be these weird cusps and confusion. I like the purest version of things typically. So when you have your astrological natal chart, right? Like I said, Scorpio falls in everyone's chart, just in a different place depending on your time of birth, okay? So as we go through the houses of the zodiac, you can see where Scorpio falls in your chart and then go, oh, this is the general topic of what's going to be illuminated for me, either where the chaos and the healing needs to come from, or where the fruition and the culmination and the joy is. And so it's going to be a blessing and a lesson, right? There's always a lesson, there's always a blessing. So this is how it works. Shauna, that's a good one. Okay, so she's got it in your 10th house. Okay, so here we go. You can take notes on it. It's lightning fast, but this is like how you can apply it in your life. If Scorpio is in your first house, okay, Scorpio in the first house in a whole house sign chart denotes that this is your rising sign. This is your ascendant. So Scorpio in the first house is the house of I am. Who am I? But at a spiritual level, what I love is to see it as, how do I deal with myself? Okay, so in that first house, I think anytime it's in the first house for these full moons, it's going to be big, right? It's going to be lit because it's getting blown up. So either you're feeling really good, like you feeling yourself, or you're like, shit, who am I? What am I doing? I feel like I'm fighting everybody. I don't know what or who, like, I don't even know how to deal with myself. And the how do you deal with yourself in imbalance in Scorpio is going to be kind of nasty self-talk. It's going to be highly judgmental. It's like you don't trust your own intuition. You don't trust your own feelings. And then you kind of turn it on other people and make it their fault, right? There's that snarky, like, the tail that's going to sting themselves kind of business of it. Okay. So, that's where, if it's in the first house, I think this moon's going to be more amplified for you, and a really good time to stop and go, am I sitting in the imbalance of Scorpio or in the sweet balance of it? Okay. It will also denote, Scorpio in the first house, that you're real comfortable as a witch, and that if you don't embrace your witch tendencies of harnessing magic, of working with ritual, of working with self-care and sacred self-care and sacred ritual is intention plus, or spellcrafting is ritual plus intention. That's it. So if you don't do those things already, then you need to, because that's going to make you deal with yourself in a smoother way, in a more integrated way. Okay. Scorpio in the second house, if you have it in the second house, this full moon is going to be illuminated around how you gather your goods. This one's one of those kind of like, it's not career. This is really like, how do you get stuff done? So just watch out for, I think Scorpio in the second house is pretty powerful also. This is really about spell casting, because how do witches get things done? They cast spells, you know? So again, if you're not using ritual spell casting as a tactic in your life to calm your anxiety, to get you grounded, to get your intentions set, to help, you know, focus your subconscious programming, your internal thoughts towards the positive, then it is time to do that. Okay. So just think about Scorpio in the second house is like, you need ritual and you need spell casting. So either writing in a journal can be that ritual for you, you know, burning up the letters can be that ritual for you, candle magic. These are things that your soul needs in order to get things done. Third house, if Scorpio falls in the third house is about how you connect with community, how you connect outside of yourself. So this is, you know, Scorpio tends to hide because it's in the dark, and, you know, they're little scorpions. They scuttle underneath and kind of around the edges. So just make sure that you're not hermiting too much, that you're, again, this becomes about walls and defensiveness. So make sure that you don't have too many walls in place. There's been a lot of tower cards coming up for UnicornWellness.Studio members. Tower card doesn't have to be disastrous. I love it, but it always denotes walls that have to come down. So, you know, things that once served to protect you, now they're keeping love out. Now they're keeping manifestation out. Now they're blocking good stuff. You got to take them down. Okay. Fourth house, Scorpio in the fourth house. This is the house of home. So it's got some layered connotations here. But from a soul level, from a unicorn level, this is how, you know, how does your soul feel safe in the world? So again, this looks a lot like the second house of spell casting, of meditation, of candles, of incense and ritual, and connecting to the magic, the unseen, in a daily, day-to-day practice. Because by connecting to divine spirit, to the unseen, God, goddess, whatever, you know, the platform or transcript works for you is fine. It doesn't matter what we call it. But Scorpio in the fourth house denotes that we feel safest, our soul feels safest in the connection to the unseen. So again, if you don't have a consistent meditation practice, then you need to start one and implement one now. And in this full moon, it's going to be powerful. Again, the energetics around it is like, it's cool. So get in there with it, right? Scorpio in the fifth house. Fifth house is the house of creativity. And then it's also about how you deal with the dark side. Because creativity comes from the dark. Our capacity for joy and to make and to help and do comes from our woundings and traumas that have healed. So I think for those of you with Scorpio in the fifth house, this could be a little bit of a rough moon, because it's going to offer a lot of transformation. Transformative Scorpio, deep, dark, wounding stuff can feel like pulling the scab off the wound. And it can feel worse for a shorter period of time for the higher and greatest good of true healing and true release on the other side. Okay, so this is really about dealing with the emotions, feeling the emotions, grieving, asking for help, telling people how terrible you feel, honestly, how bad the depression is, you know, in order to have somebody hold space and help support you through things, so that when you finally release it and let it go and share it, it automatically dissipates it. I feel like somebody needs to hear that again. You need to, in order to heal the hurt, you've got to share it, because sharing it with others dissipates it. It lightens the load already and releases it from your physical body and can move it out of your psyche and your energetic field. So, you know, definitely, if you've got Scorpio in the fifth house, definitely reach out to talk to somebody for support, because you guys, I'm hearing this really loud. Somebody with Scorpio in the fifth house, it's here listening or going to listen to it afterwards. You're not letting people know how bad the dark feels for you right now. And if you tell somebody that, the light already comes in through the cracks, because they're going to hold your hand, they're going to sit with you, they're going to be there with you. Okay. All right. Into the sixth house. Sixth house, if Scorpio's in your sixth house, this is the how do you show love in the world? How do you help? So how do you give? How do you teach? So just look at how you're sharing with the world, how you show up, how you're helping. It's really as simple as that. And if you're like, I don't know that I'm helping or sharing, then pick something that you love to do. I mean, I love to do this. So this is honestly how I show up to help, is to go through the lunations and the astrology with you and to offer the free tarot readings, and then UnicornWellness.Studio. That's how I show up. So make sure that you all have something that you're giving and doing, talking, saying, sharing, posting, making in the world. Okay. Yeah, seventh house. If Scorpio's in your seventh house is the house of relationships. The boil down of that house is, how do you deal with others? So again, we get into these goods of Scorpio. In its best, Scorpio can deal with the deepest, darkest, most traumatic stories of people. So Scorpio can make excellent therapists, excellent healers, right? Like, because that deep, dark depth is like, we can hold it and we don't freak out. Like, that energy is like, sure, I can hold that for you. It's okay. And then that again lightens somebody else's load. So if you have Scorpio in the seventh house, look at, in relationships, it's going to go two ways, right? Like, it's either going to be like, I don't have time for that. I don't trust you. I'm not listening, or you turn it on them because you think they're being sneaky about something. Or you really can hold and listen and allow for transformation for them because you're listening and holding all that space. So there's that. Okay. Little bit of a call out too. If you've got Scorpio in the seventh house, you need to work with some cord cutting in this full moon. Okay. Eighth house. Eighth house is the house of death and sex. It's the house of clearing. So how well do you manifest, really? Do you cling to things? Do you hoard stuff? Or can you release and let go and you keep a pretty minimalist space that you live in, physically and emotionally and mentally? So Scorpio in the eighth house, I think, is going to be highly transformative in this full moon if you're willing to really release. Like, let's just get rid of stuff, like major transformations. Scorpio in the ninth house. This is how you connect to yourself, how you connect to spirit. So this is magic, 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 magic. This is definitely ritual. This is definitely spell casting. This is the goods of the occult here, of connecting to soul and spirit through spell casting and ritual, right? So spell casting, to repeat, is intention plus ritual. So that can be anything. That's literally the birthday candle blowout. So if you're feeling like, I don't know what to do, but you're looking for transformation and you really want to connect to yourself at a deeper level in this full moon, go grab a birthday candle, stand on top of a muffin, like, you can make magic anywhere, really, with anything. It doesn't need to be expensive. It doesn't need to be precise. It just needs to be your heartfelt intention, with some sort of physical ritual. That's all. 10th house. Okay, so somebody had it in their 10th house. Oh, and then there was 9th house there too. Okay, so 10th house is the house of empowerment. Okay, this does pertain to career and legacy. So Scorpio in the 10th house, absolutely, and I know I'm talking to you, Shauna, absolutely says that part of your success in the world from a legacy standpoint, what will you leave behind, as well as career, what will bring me the highest abundance and for the highest and greatest good of all involved, absolutely denotes that magic is a part of whatever it is you do. Healing is a part of whatever you do. Some sort of ritual and spell casting is a part of what you do, that you're going to have to go to the dark, that you'll be able to hold the dark for others, and that by exposing your witchy tendencies, you step into the highest version of yourself and into empowerment. Okay, so Shauna, did you hear me? It's a big one. 11th house. Okay, the 11th house of the zodiac is networking and friendships. Kind of keep it at its level there. So, again, Scorpio in the 11th house, it also depends on, what celestial bodies you have particularly in that house, but at its general, it can go two ways. Either you have a lot of friends that will always come from a spiritual connection, from the magical connection, from being able to talk about death and sex and magic and ghosts and spirits and visitations and shamanic journeying and all of those things. it can also denote not very many friends, right? Like, do you really want Scorpio as its little, like, taily, crustacean kind of thing? Is it the warmest, fuzziest? Not really. So, it could be a quiet space. And then that to me would denote more connection to spirit, because you're never alone with spirit, and in a celestial divine connection to the other side, to the ethers, to the cosmos, to the unseen. So just that Scorpio in the 11th house is really like a either or kind of placement, but it always depends on what else is present there. Okay. So just look at it. If you feel like, oh, I'm in that like bitey, stingy stage and not a lot of community around me, and maybe it's time to cultivate some, where you feel safe, where you can learn to trust, because again, Scorpio has everything to do with trust in its positive and its negative aspects of it. 12th house. Scorpio on the 12th house I love, because this is just like the whoop, whoop, hello, you're a witch. 12th house is the house of the unseen, okay? And this is also the house of hidden talents. So if you've got Scorpio in the 12th house, you definitely have a connection to the other side as far as spirits. Dream time messaging may be super high, connecting literally to ghosts and spirits may be like as easy as like walking in the room and go, hey, all, okay, hi, ancestors. And it also may be like, I don't know that I can connect to these things very easily, but when you start to cultivate and craft a consistent meditation practice, a consistent practice of trying to connect, that you find that actually you do, and there's a depth to it and perhaps an ease to it, but an accuracy to it in the long run. So I love me some Scorpio in the 12th house people, because you go, ooh, okay, you're just like hardwired for the unseen, which is cool. You can use that for healing. You can use that for manifestation. Like, it's pure magic, okay? So that was your speed unicorn bingo. Any questions? And I'm like as on time as I really can be. I'm really impressed right now. Questions about where Scorpio falls in which house for you, not particular questions about your personal chart. For those, we need to book a reading or a personal reading for it, but on a general spectrum of things. Just know that where Scorpio sits and what house in your natal chart in the zodiac and your personal chart astrologically denotes where the lessons and the blessings will be in this full moon on Saturday. We enter into this full moon Scorpio energy Wednesday, like tomorrow, Wednesday, Thursday, Friday. Yeah, tomorrow. So today we're still kind of like not, but you may start feeling the charge already. Again, if you've got prominent Scorpio, or I think Pisces in the chart, that you're going to feel this like zzz, like high desire to like play in the energy, a Reiki treatment or binaural beats or, shamanic drumming of just like, how can I get into this kind of different zone to maybe work with this? Okay. All right. So here we go. Unicorn bingo. I'm going to say it's done. I'm going to check the comments. You guys on Instagram, hello. We've got a whole nother group on YouTube. On YouTube, if you guys have a second, if you'll go click the like button, I'd really appreciate it, because sometimes I forget to ask at the end. And where I'm reading the comments. Oh, you're so welcome. Yeah, like, and if you missed any of it, then head over to YouTube later, because I did all 12 signs of the zodiac. So if you want to go like, hey, I want to listen to that again. Wait, what was that? It's going to be there. It lives there in perpetuity. Okay. Then now we're going to move into the single card tarot pulls. I like to take questions from Instagram first, because there's usually fewer of you guys on Instagram on these Tuesdays, and it will cut off sooner than it will on YouTube. So if you all have questions, now is the time to start typing. It becomes this thing, right? Phrase your question in a way that it can be answered yes or no. I will pull one single card, and I'll do up to about 10 readings. Okay. I'll take them in order, first come, first serve. I usually do a couple extra, just kind of depends on how things are feeling in the air. Any additional information that's channeled through, then I will bring to you with it as well. So type your questions, phrase it in a way that can be answered yes or no. Please be very careful and specific to not ask 2 questions. It's confusing, and then it kind of stalls, and then we have to clarify and all of that. So type your question in a way that it can be answered yes or no, and I will bring through additional information with it. Okay. And if you guys on Instagram have a question, type it first. I'd love to take yours first, because Instagram times out for us, but YouTube, we can spend a little extra time. Okay. So let me just look at the comments before we get super started, kind of a regroup. Whew. Okay. Moon magic, embracing your powerful ascendant. Yes, ma'am. Yeah, I mean, since the end of last week, it's been a lot. I mean, I have felt this full moon energy since the new moon, which is like, oh, hi, okay. Like, it's a lot. I'm using the Robin Wood Tarot. I like this for the quick draws. It's classical, but whimsical and bright and good energy. Oh, Scorpio for Pisces in your first. Yeah. So you're going to like, this moon's big and you've already said, like, you're already feeling it. It feels really buzzy. I feel really buzzy. I'm in the, Scorpio's in the 4th house for me and my Pisces is in the 8th, but I just feel like it's like hardwired for whatever reason. Oh, and Paula, you like it. You feel like it's comfortable. I kind of love it. But I've also, if you guys didn't see the weekly tarot yesterday, I've had like 3 healings in the last week because I was like after some closure and some healing. So I don't know if it's this moon that feels so awesome or just all of that, but yeah, it's a nice feeling. Moon magic. Okay. Oh, here we go. Okay. And you guys make sure that you phrase the question in a yes or no way, that it's only one question. Okay, I want to give you all as much accuracy as possible. When there's 2 questions, it kind of gets convoluted. Abby. Okay, so Abby, retype it. You're on Instagram. I want you to retype it in a way that it can be answered yes or no. Okay, so I think, Abby, if you want to rephrase it, you can say yes or no to me on this one. Should you be investing more time in, just pick one, family or work, instead of it having 2 in the same question? Okay, so Abby, I will come back to yours because I see you. Just phrase it in a way that can be answered yes or no, one question at a time. Okay. Okay, moon magic. Will your marriage finally end at the time of this full moon? Okay, I hear this as a yes. This is the star card. Okay, so this is interesting because it's such a bright card, but it's a yes. The star is absolutely, it's Aquarius. It's for the benefit of the highest and greatest good. That's Aquarius's concern. Doesn't care how it happens, doesn't care what the emotional connections are. It just wants what will bring the highest and greatest good for all involved. And the star card always tells us to wish big, because if we miss, what we wished for, we land on something even better nearby. If we aim for the moon, we miss, we land on a star, right? So that's a yes. That's totally a yes. Okay, and Abby on Instagram, I'm going to go back to yours because you clarified for me. So here we go before that time's out. Should you be investing more time in work? Okay, I did say it at the very, very beginning. I'm trying to not have a glare so it can show on Instagram, and I know my hand's in front of my face on YouTube. Sorry, you guys. So on YouTube, here it's the 7 of Cups. Can you see that, Abby? I don't know why that lighting looks so weird here. Okay, so Abby, should you be investing more time at work? This is hysterical. This is one of those cards that's the maybe instead of it being a hard yes or a hard no. It's a maybe, but what it says is it doesn't really matter. You need to decide in general in your life what you want your cups filled with. This is always about confusion, and it's always about not picking something. And you have to put your finger on it. So I always say that when we talk about manifestation, we can get mad at the cosmos and the ethers all day long. They're up there waiting to help us. Usually the problem is that we're not clear, we don't put our finger on it, and then we're not making any gains towards it. You have to pick something. So where you put your effort right now isn't about what the cosmos want you to do. It's about what do you want? What does your soul want? You need to put effort. It's because it's undecided. You're like in this, like, is it work? Is it family? Because you don't really know what you want. So then you don't know where to put more effort and more energy. Meditation, maybe the reading that we were talking about, to really be honest about what you want. Okay. So this is where it needs to be at. Does that make sense? Seven of Cups is about choice, about confusion, about being like, oh, it could be anything. And it's like, no, you pick. We pick. We have to pick. We got to pick. Okay. Hi, you guys. Okay, now we just got this like onslaught of questions. I love it. Okay, so let me go back to Instagram and do more there before it cuts off in order to be fair. And then I will come through, I'll scroll back and I'll go through all the questions on YouTube. Okay. So on Instagram, I'm going to stick my hand in front of things again. Abby, I hope that made sense. Okay. Yeah. All right. Okay. So Pearl, I'm going to do yours. I'm going to answer yours on Instagram. And then probably Instagram will cut off. So if you're on Instagram and you want to join us on YouTube, you may. Jen, welcome. I love that you're here. The questions are, you have to ask a question. It has to be able to be answered yes or no, and I'll pull a single card for you. I'm not sure if I'll have time to do another one on Instagram, but I'll try because it'll cut us off. We've been on for an hour. Okay, so Pearl, should you go ahead with the surgery? King of Cups. This is a yes. King of Cups is a beautiful card because it's very calm. It's very emotionally stable. It's like the reasonable emotions of like analytic. It's a great balance between masculine and feminine. So that's a yes. That's a yes for Pearl. Okay. And okay, so Jen, let me do yours then because I think we can sneak in one more for Instagram. All right. Oh, but Jen, you've got to ask a question. Okay. Okay, Jen, there you go. I love it. Good timing. Are you going to find, I'm going to rephrase it a little bit for you because do you want any house or do you want the perfect long-term, like fairy tale forever house? Because you can find a house, right? Throw a stone, find a house. So Jen, do you want your forever home? Is that what we're asking about? Please confirm before I pull a card, okay? Okay, good. All right. Just want to make sure I'm asking the right questions. We'll get answers you may not have wanted. Are you going to find your forever house soon? Yes, I got the soon part. Otherwise, you wouldn't be asking. That's a yes. This is the Ace of Pentacles. It's a very auspicious, very blessed card. It's about planting things for the long term. I think this is a beautiful card when you're in a home search of like, yes, it may be a little bit of a fixer-upper kind of thing because it's going to be the beginnings of something, but it's absolutely yes. Yes. Yes, yes, yes. Okay. Now, okay, I'm moving back to YouTube. Let me scroll back and see where this can start or not. Okay, Rapali, is communication coming from Jay anytime in May or Gemini season? Okay, we got to do a yes or a no. Well, let's just say May because May is both Taurus and Gemini season, right? So Rapali, is communication coming from Jay in May? I like that it rhymes. You're welcome, Jen. This is yes. And Rapali, I think you've been asking about the same person for the past couple of weeks. It's all very constructive. So this is a yes in May. I mean, whether it's in the Taurus side of it or the Gemini side of it, doesn't really matter. This is very balanced masculine energy. It's very loving. It's very equal of lunar and solar energy. It's like empowered and stable and strong, but willing to really like, I get that like I don't know if it's a he, but that Jay will be willing to communicate emotionally, that it'll kind of flow for the first time. Okay, but it looks really constructive, feels constructive. I like that. Okay, I'm going to say goodbye to everybody on Instagram because it's going to kick off. If you all want to book a private session, a personal session with me, TandyGutierrez.com. And if you want to go back and watch the rest of them on YouTube later, you can. So thank you for joining me. And we're going to stay on YouTube for the rest of these questions, okay? There's not a list for questions, you all. Just first come, first serve as you type in the question in a way that can be answered yes or no. Only one question per person. And I'll do as many as I can. 10 to 12 or 15, depends. Okay, so Scorpio 444. Will you get justice? I think that that's an interesting phrase. Is it justice for all or justice for you? Because justice for one person can sometimes look like the other end of Scorpio of like retribution or revenge. Okay, so if you'll refine that question, I'll go back and answer it. Taryn, will your husband and I take a baby moon this summer? I love that. Oh, that's a yes. So this is King of Wands. King of Wands like goes. It's like bravery and courageousness, and they love travel and they love adventure and they love going. This is like super, 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 August looking, like high summer heat, lots of sun. That's a yes, Taryn. How fun. I love that. I just like the term baby moon. Okay. Will we be together again with Asa? Is that how you pronounce it? Belsimia? Oh my gosh, what am I? I can't even talk right now. Belsimela. All right, so will we be together again with Asa? Asa. I hope I'm pronouncing it correctly. I'm sure I'm probably not. I'm sorry. So let me pull a card. Will you be together again? This is interesting. So this says that, yes, you can. You have all of the tools at your disposal. This is about the magician. This is about manifestation and just kind of making things happen because you understand the balance of all aspects of it: intellect, love, emotion, financials, 3D resources, and bravery and courageousness to do so. So you can be together again, but this is a bit of a like, hey, don't sit around just waiting for it to happen. You have the tools, but you're going to have to actually, I hear you have to make it happen. It's like a road trip or something. Like you have to put the plan together and like, yes, but it's not like there's a lot of effort that has to go towards it. Okay. Oh, like Moon Magic, you're welcome. And Moon Magic, it doesn't matter, but I don't know who you are, and I feel like I should because of the handle. So if you want to share who it is, let me know. But if you don't, it's totally fine too, and you're welcome. Sabrina, hi, Mama. Okay, and let's see. Okay, hang on. I'm posting those things. All right, so Sabrina, here we go. Okay, Sabrina, I'm looking at your question. You're next in line. Do you need to forgive a friend in order to move on? It's a good question. That's a yes. Okay, so this is 8 of Wands. Wands are about bravery and courageousness and the fearlessness of doing something. I think this is one of those, and that there's empowerment in the doing. 8 of Wands is like once you forgive this person, and it's like, I feel like this is something that's not easily forgivable, that you're like, I don't really want to forgive them, but you're asking the right question. It's blocking you from other things. So if you can be brave and courageous and really genuinely forgive them in your heart, that other things will come through pretty speedily and quickly and fast because you did the high energetic path. So that's yes. That's a yes. I like that. Okay, scrolling down. Joy, will you find a new job this year? All right, Joy, I'm going to ask you to refine that because we're not doing any of these. Like, you can find a job. Do you want a job, or do you want a passion path, or do you want your highest career? Like, what do you want, Joy? Let's talk about it. Karen, let's see. If you let him go, will you be able to reconcile? I love that there's unicorns after. Okay, so if you let him go, will you be able to reconcile? That's a no, but you're not supposed to. So this is the Tower. This is what I was talking about. And like some people hate it because it looks like explosive. In this deck, it's pretty classical and traditional of like things need to end and endings are okay. And they're actually wonderful. The Tower card means that, systems and things that you've put in place, things that you have built no longer serve your highest and greatest good, and they have to come down. If you don't take it down carefully, one brick at a time, then the universe comes in and throws lightning bolts and starts to like destroy things. If you need to let him go, do you reconcile? No, you do not, but you are not supposed to. That's the big message here, is that you're not supposed to. It's not in your highest and greatest good anymore to be in this relationship. You have to let go. This is about trust and surrender. Wow, they're really loud. So no, and you're not supposed to. It's like you're hanging on. It's like you're clinging. You hear it and you know it, but you're still trying to like cling, control, and rework it. Don't do that. The universe knows. They know, they have your best interest at heart. They really genuinely do. So no. You've been waiting, Rupali. Okay, you're welcome. Yeah, Scorpio 444. I think that's one of those deeper questions of like how to phrase that. And I think you have another comment. Let me catch up. Charlotte, let me see. So late to the party. It's okay. Oh, that's okay, Charlotte. Okay, so that's it. That's more helpful. Okay, so Scorpio 444, will you get justice for you in this particular legal matter? This is a yes. This is the King of Pentacles. This is like, it's the banker. So it usually denotes finances that come along with it. So is this constructive, like something that you're fighting for that you get a little retribution and change for? So that's a yes, and good. Thank you for clarifying, because I want you guys to have the clearest questions that you can so you get the clearest answers. But that's a yes. That's like, he's like fair and stable and the banker and is really about resources, but it's about joy and love and finances. So again, I don't know if the legal issue comes with a little monetary bit, but it seems like it would in this case. Okay. Sapphic, oh wait, here we go. Sapphic, okay. Does Nerlin think about me? Will he confess his feelings? Do you see any serious relationship? He is in Aries and Capricorn. So Sapphic, let's make sure one question that I can answer yes or no. What's the most important question to know for you? Because I am happy to answer it. So hi, Anjali. Yes, you can ask a question. Absolutely. Hi, Jill. Hi, Kim. And you guys who missed the beginning of the hour, I think I'm going to shift this to 11 a.m. like Monday, because I think it's going to work best for everybody overall. But yes, you all, if we're who are here at the end, 1, 2, I can do like 2 or 3 more single card questions. If you guys really clarify your question, type it in, make sure I can answer it in a yes or a no way, and then I'll bring through even more information. Devdata, okay. Who's constantly on my mind? Am I on her mind or in her feelings too? Oh, this is an interesting question. Okay, Devdata, elderly Scorpio who's constantly on your mind. Am I on her mind or in her feelings too? Okay, are you on her mind? That's a yes. This is interesting. It's got an interesting energy to it. So this is 9. This is about karmic closures. This is about mastery. This is about guidance and teaching. Is it a teacher? Is it a grandmother? Like, that's definitely a yes. But there's also this piece to it that is like, there might be a closure and ending coming soon for them in this lifetime. So if you are thinking about them, then let them know it may be time to reach out. 9 are, cycles closing, karmic endings. There's this very strong teacher aspect, very, connected and about mastery. Okay. So, yeah, definitely. Yeah. I mean, it's like, oh my gosh, yes. Okay. Yeah. So like reach out, connect, like just go talk to her. Absolutely. Yes. Yes. But in this deck, it's interesting because it like, she faces away. So it's like she's walking away. There's a way here. Yeah. Okay. So just, yes, go talk to her. You guys are, it's like telepathic, like you could feel each other. Now you just need to go have that hug, have that final like conversation. There's a gem in there for you. Like there's some wisdom, like an oracle situation that she's going to pass to you. Okay. I'm scrolling back so I don't miss anything. Okay, shine bright. Shine bright. Will there be good news coming soon? Here we go. Hang on. I'm shuffling. Okay. Yes. Okay, shine bright. This is beautiful. This is the Empress card. This is absolutely better days, good stuff coming. The Empress says that the way to get to good days and better things is through grounding and self-care. She is the eternal Earth Mama. This is like, whenever this card comes up, I'm always like, oh, okay. This might be a call that you've just stumbled into the right house and the right community for you to be supported. I teach grounding techniques, so UnicornWellness.Studio. This is always about movement, spiritual ritual, about making, about meditation, and about the fuel that you eat. So always an increase in greens and root veggies. That there's a frequency. I feel like there's like a frequency struggle in you, Shine Bright. Like there's a healing that's getting ready to happen, but you got to help it along. Like you got to get your body moving. You need to hydrate more. You need more greens and more root veggies to help get you grounded. That's a yes. That's like good days are coming, but you need to put some effort into it. Because again, the Empress is the eternal Earth Mama. She makes things. She's the creator. She makes things happen, but she's a bit of a workhorse mama. So you got to put the balanced effort into it. Okay. If you are interested in training with me, because that's kind of what I do here, UnicornWellness.Studio. When I post this, there'll be a code for 30 days free on the site. Like go there, use the 30 days, see if it resonates with you to help anchor you, to help transition you into these better energies. Might as well. There you go. 30 days free. What do we got? Okay. Oh, good. Hi, you guys. Let's see. Let's take like, let me do two. Okay, so Safak, let's do, is that how you pronounce it? I'm just like the worst, you guys, but I promise I love you. And just because I can't pronounce things doesn't mean I'm not trying. Let's answer the question, will Nurlan confess his feelings to you soon? I am being called to that question. Okay. That's a yes. This is Page of Wands. This is like somebody who doesn't really know how to do this kind of stuff, who feels little and naive and immature and like a little like the 12-year-old boy who's like, I really like you, like, but he's learning and he's willing and he's being brave and courageous. And there's a lot of really sunshine energy. It's a very genuine energy. That's a yes. Yeah. I also feel like you may need to like prep it for him, make it easy, make it like a little hands off, maybe make it not so heavy, and that you need to be outside. Wait, did you say he was an Aries? I'm going back. There's a lot of comments. Yes. Okay. Aries have a hard time with their feels, y'all, and they are inherently immature. I mean, this is like him. That card I just held up is totally him. They need help and permission to be bad at things. And like, it's their ego that's going to get real bruised. So you may need to help like the process in a nice way. Like don't poke at it. Don't make like, he needs to be outside, number one. And you need to maybe drop some little business to let him walk into it kind of thing. Not manipulation, just helping him feel comfortable and balanced. Oh, good, Shine Bright. Yeah, no, I'm like, I really like, I feel very called and drawn to you, and that like, oh God, can we please have a breakthrough? Like just try the 30 days. I swear, like the practical tactics really make these huge transitions in energetic and in healing. And when we cultivate self-care and take care of the physical vessel, then our soul is happier and healthier, number one. And it allows for these transitions, and that cultivates self-love, which always gives the higher frequency, right? Of like, okay, better things are coming. So that's good. You're welcome. Okay, let's look at two more, and then we're going to close out for today. Okay, you guys? Thank you all so much for being here. And if you can, while we're talking, I'm going to do two more questions. These last two from Benita and from Anjali. And then if you guys can hit the like button, that would be really awesome. If you haven't subscribed to this channel already, then please do. Anjali, let's see. You posted your question. When will your Capricorn guy express his feelings? We need to, let's do it this way, because the questions need to be phrased in a yes or no. Okay, so let's say, ask if your guy will express his feelings this month. Let's start with that one, okay? And then maybe next week, if you come back, we can ask a deeper question and get more refined in it. But will your Capricorn guy express your feelings this month? See you next time, Scorpio. Thank you. Okay, this is interesting. This is no. So Anjali, this is no, not this month, because that's the question that I asked, but the devil's in the details. Like things are feeling restricted. I think he feels like he's kind of stuck right now. I think he's feeling like he's got too many things to clean up and to kind of handle. His plate's a little messy, and he's in the dungeon kind of cleaning things out. He wants to be able to tell you something or connect with you when he's out, like, out in the sunlight playing. He's handling some things right now, and I think it's internal, and I think it's like emotional kind of muck, and it may be some depression, and like he can't show up for you right now, so please don't ask him to. It's going to be too much. But if you can support him lightly, like kind of around the periphery vision, that maybe later on, but he's got some work to do on himself right now, so he can't show up for somebody else in that way right now. Okay. Yes, I did, Angeli. This one is for you. Okay. So I asked if he would share his feelings this month, and the answer is no. That doesn't mean it couldn't happen next month. We can ask again next week, but he's in a place emotionally that he needs all of his resources for himself. He can't show up for anybody else right now, kind of thing. Okay. And then last question. Jill, yeah, my posters did move. Were you not here yesterday? Or yeah, I moved them in here because this is my office now in the bedroom. And so I moved the posters too. I like them better in here. All right, let's go back to last. Wait, do I have one more? Oh, Benita. Does Ruben have romantic feelings for you is what I'm guessing. I want to make sure that that's the right question. Okay, last question of the day. Does Ruben have romantic feelings for you? Oh, flying cards. This is one of those that you'll be annoyed. I know, I'm sorry. This is the Hanged Man. This is a maybe. He doesn't know. This is the, like, I don't know. This is looking at things from a different perspective. I think he's not allowing his heart to lead him. He's trying to use too much of his analytical brain, so to speak, and he's getting confused. I think if he would just let his heart open, it would be yes, but there's something that's preventing him from doing that. Like he's either been hurt, or there's a small child involved. Like he's trying to be really thoughtful about everything, and then when it comes to matters of the heart, being thoughtful doesn't really work. Like you have to follow your heart. So he doesn't know right now, so don't push him. Again, this is one of those, like, just try to be supportive if you can, but he's confused. But it's almost like he's confusing himself because he's trying to use too much analytical left sign reasoning, like a pro and con list, rather than just going with what he feels. But he's not very good at connecting to the feels either. But he feels like he's trying to make the right decision for a couple of reasons. Like it's almost like there's more people. I hear a child, so it's like he's trying to figure out how it works best for everybody, so to speak. So he's not sure. Oh, thank you. Yeah, Benita. No, it's totally true. It's like okay, so yeah, so I didn't see these guys. Just scroll down. I didn't see these while I was reading. Yeah, he is confused. So when this card comes out, also, I mean the practical, because I'm all about the practical to the magical, and I just put the card away. But the Hangman, they're upside down. From the practitioner part of me, it always calls to doing inversions because it's restorative. So legs up the wall, down dog. If he does headstands at all, if he's got an inversion table. I know this sounds really silly, but when that card comes out, then it says that he needs more restoration time. He needs some time alone, but he needs a shift of perspective. Also, don't try to talk him into a shift of perspective. Try to guide him there. So if, if be supportive of him, he really is genuinely confused. He doesn't want to hurt anybody. Go activate the code on the site. You guys can do workouts together and work through the inversions together. Maybe you guys can get on the mat together. Let that be a shift of being supportive of him and not pushing him into something. Be like, dude, I just want to hang out. Hey, let's do a workout. And then you can help cultivate inversions in his life so that his heart can get clear. It's like when you go upside down, it's that restoration. I get that it's almost, oh God, I want to do like this. It's almost like he needs like either thawing or like the energy of the heart chakra just cleared. It's like smoky. Ooh, that was big. Get him on the mat. Go work out with him. You could use the code down below. Okay, well, he's an interesting one then. See if you can get him to do something constructive with you, but don't push him. That's never our goal. Don't push him. But again, go activate the code for UnicornWellness.Studio. Invite him to do a workout, like just be supportive of him. Okay, so that was the last question of the day, only because it's been an hour and 15 minutes. And I get to a place where I start to haywire a little bit. So Brianna 1111, I'm so sorry I didn't get to your question today. But if you will join me next week, every Tuesday, I'm going to use the second half of the hour to do live tarot readings, and I love to do them for you. So if you all would like to book a personal reading, you can go to tandygutierrez.com. If you're here in Brooklyn or in the area and would like to join me for the live full moon ritual of movement on the mat, guided meditation, the altar, lunar education, and single card tarot pulls, that's this Saturday from 4 to 6 here in Carroll Gardens. And you purchase your ticket and your slot at tandygutierrez.com also. And if you would like to aim into and head into the physical healing components of the work that I do, UnicornWellness.Studio. And below in the description or under any of the videos, there's a code for 30 days guest membership on the site. They are infused with Reiki healing from me to you in every single video. It's a 30-minute workout every 3 days. It's a full, new, and a monthly tarot reading, as well as a guided meditation, all crafted to the current astrology to help you harness it and work with it and to help you heal in this practical and magical way. So if you all are interested in that, you can post questions below or just use the code for 30 days free. It's super free. And I promise you, if you're enjoying these readings, you're looking for healing in really constructive and new and powerful ways, try getting on the mat. You guys got to look at it and not just as a workout. So it's like, come for the magic, stay for the mat, or come for the mat and stay for the magic. It creates a different life and a different path on ascension and a different connection to your soul and your soul's expansion in this lifetime. So I love you all very much. Hey, Brianna. Yay, mama. Oh, good, Sabrina. I'm so glad. Oh, thank you, Bree. Thank you guys. So make sure to hit the like button and the subscribe. I'm live on Monday and Tuesday. Monday is the weekly tarot reading. I don't take questions. We just join as a community and gather as a community. Tuesdays, every Tuesday now, at least half of the time will be spent in live tarot readings. Okay. So every Tuesday, just show up, first come, first serve. If we do the best that we can. But if you want to book a reading, tandygutierrez.com. And I love you guys so very much. And I will see you next week. Bye.